Alright, this is Dr. Taylor with Align Utah, and I'm here with Gina, okay? And this is an exciting day because when Gina first became a patient of ours, her #1 goal was she said, I want to be one of your video stories.
Yeah.
And we told you that you would be, and tell us your story. Let's start back a year ago.
So let me start back from a year ago. My husband and I are directors at a camp for kids in the foster care program. A year ago we had that camp and I became very ill. The day we were packing up to leave the night before, I had such severe chest pains, difficulty breathing, other scary symptoms. I probably should have gone to a doctor that night, but I didn't. But I did go to a doctor. They noticed an abnormality in my EKG. They sent me for more tests. A week later, it turns out my heart was enlarged and I was diagnosed with heart failure. I did have an angiogram because they were certain I was about to have a cardiac arrest. But thank God my arteries were clear, but then they were baffled and they ran more tests. And so it's called an ejection fraction. It's the amount of blood that your heart pumps out. I was at 19%. And normal range, the low end is 55%.
And that's heart failure.
Yeah, it's heart failure, enlarged heart, and not being able to pump out. So I've been on a journey for a year.
And what did they tell you that you were going to have to do if you didn't change anything?
Oh, a pacemaker.
A
pacemaker was
almost guaranteed, right?
Almost guaranteed. They were thinking by the end of last year. But I had sleep apnea. They thought that would help it. So I'm on my machine faithfully, and by December, they ran another test, and I was only at 22%.
6 months.
Some medicine, almost 6 months.
Not much
and
change.
not much change. And so I started going to a heart failure clinic, strange name for something that's supposed to get your heart better. But so I went to the special clinic. They put me on more meds, but they still weren't. My prognosis was not good because I have an issue with my left ventricle with the electricity being a bit delayed, so my heart's out of sync. And in February, my church had Dr. Taylor. We had a healthy living class. He came in and taught it, and I started the program. And although I didn't initially go grain-free, I started changing what I ate. I started eating actually real foods, not plastic foods.
Yeah.
And I started down a journey too to exercise a little more. Because of my heart and my condition, I couldn't do much, but I started walking some and doing some of the exercises that we had on the video from the class. And so I was doing what I could, about 15 minutes, but I still wasn't, and they never ran another echo to see what my percentage was in this whole time. But I was faithful, and I started changing how I ate, and about a month ago, the end of June, my doctors began to prepare me because I was like, I don't want a pacemaker. And that's really the cure to get when you have the issue I have with my left ventricle, that's what you need to get.
That's their treatment, yeah.
That's their treatment.
That's what they offer.
And not only was it just a pacemaker, it had a defibrillator. So if it had a problem,
short it out, it would shock you back to life.
Or stop it.
It's
there because what they were worried about is my heart would stop. So
that's crazy. That's not a good solution for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I was just like, I work with technology, and I know things fail all the time. So
and it
they're like,
evolves.
don't worry. It's like, it's not in your heart. So a month ago. It was the end of June, and they started preparing me for the eventuality of a pacemaker. And they said pretty much they didn't see how my percentage could go from 22% to around 40%, where I would be out of the range for it's kind of a gray area. It depends on a lot of things, but it's between maybe 34
to 40. You'd be okay. But where are you at now? Let's jump to this.
Well, so a month later, and I did go grain-free the last month. I was walking up to about 30 minutes on my treadmill, a few times a week, and but I have to also say, doing my weeble wobbles and my other exercises. And I came to you on the Monday before I had my echo. You did an adjustment, and I felt different. I mean, I feel like things came together. The Friday before I had to go to camp, they ran another echo, and my percentage was 49%, my ejection fraction. So I went from 22% to 49%. I do not need a pacemaker.
Yes.
So, And they did retest my heart with an EKG.
And
I still have the issue that they said I couldn't overcome.
and that can heal too.
Yes.
Well, what did the doctors say about the ejection fraction? That's my favorite part.
Well, yeah, they just couldn't believe it. The cardiologist, they have a team, so this one I'd never met, but he said, I've never met you, but I wanted to be the one that came in and gave you the good news.
Yeah.
And I have another friend who is a physician, and she said, I'm in the minority, because first of all, I was diagnosed, and second of all, for it to come from 22% to 49% is just pretty much
But when we first met you, I remember, we told you we've had patients beat this in the past.
Yes.
We shared with you their story, their numbers.
But the doctors don't.
The doctors don't believe that, and
Yeah.
they told you, well, you're going to have this, you're going to have a pacemaker, you're going to have to take these drugs.
Uh-huh.
And we told you something different. We said,
Yeah.
God created you to be healthy. If we work with that design,
Right.
you can be healthy. You just haven't
And
been working with that design for the last...
And I didn't know anything.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody does.
But I just want to say, it is true, and I'm still not stopping because I want to get well in the normal range, well above the 55%.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my long-term goal, but still, a month ago they said it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Gina. You're going to be a great video testimonial. We'll shoot another one as you continue to progress and keep getting healthier and healthier.
Okay.
But no
And I've lost
pacemaker.
15 pounds.
Down 15 pounds.
Yeah.
No pacemaker.
No pacemaker.
No heart failure.
No heart failure. My heart's no longer enlarged. I don't know if I said that. So they were they were amazed at that it was no longer enlarged.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Your body can heal.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Gina.
Thanks.